Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at Port Hope Flimsies, which I recommend for level 600 plus monk. Now, I actually hunted here at like 450 and it was okay. As you can see, I've got the analyzers here from like level 430 even. This was before like the latest couple of nerfs, but still, it was still doable. And actually the video you'll see is from level 400 or so. However, I do think that this place is better and only really worth it at 600 plus once you unlock your Sanguine Claw. This is because the Mean Lost Souls have less resistance to Earth than to Energy, and as there's quite a lot of Mean Lost Souls here, it's just better at level 600 with your Sanguine Claws. It's not like massively better, but it's definitely much more comfortable. So my personal recommendation is if you're like really desperate and say there's a Flimsy boosted or Mean Lost Soul boosted, and you really want to come here, you can come here earlier. You can come here like 450, 500 is going to be doable. But my actual recommendation for when it's worth maybe to come here is 600 plus. So, depending on when you come, you're going to do between like 5 to 6k raw experience per hour, and somewhere between like 350k profit per hour at like level 430, 450, because you're going to be like chugging USPs, so it's going to be less profit. But by the time you're like level 600, you're using way fewer USPs and you're going to be making like 1k profit per hour. And I had charms active in both those videos as well, obviously, if both those results. So, obviously, if you don't have charms, it's going to be a little bit worse than this. Overall tier rating, I'd give it something like a B plus, maybe like an A minus. It's okay. It's an okay spot. Definitely worthwhile to come at least for the bestiary. Venore Lost Souls is of course a little bit more experience, but I'll have a separate video for that in the future. Difficulty wise, I'd give it about a 6 out of 10 by the time you're like level 600, but at like level 400, you're going to be like 9 out of 10. You know, really do be careful if you come here at that level. For the bestiary, it's about 4 hours for Flimsies, about 6 hours for Mean Lost Souls. So, requirements, like I mentioned, recommend level 600 plus. You will need Feaster of Souls quest access, a little bit of it, about half the quest. This place can effectively be hunted by monks, knights, paladins, and mages. Basically, everybody hunts here. Knights is a little I know knights don't hunt here all that much. This place is best for mages, so mages hunt here the most, but all the other vocations, monk, knights, and paladins can kind of make it work with okay results. But generally speaking, I would say this is a mage spot. Recommended movements all standard, and no protection imbuement is necessary, but of course a death protection would be best. You've got 13% death damage here, then it's just like life drain and physical. Recommended weapon type is earth. However, energy is also okay. Like the overall difference between earth and energy isn't massive. So if you come here like level 400, 450, I would use soul mass over like a cobra bow. So energy is okay, but earth is better. So if you come here at 600, use Sanguine Claw. If you come here between 400 and 600, I would use Soul Mass. Supplies per hour, by the time you're like level 600, you'll be using about 1200 ultimate, 600 sentence potions. For the charms, I recommend Low Blow and Savage Blow. Those are the best. If you don't have those, Divine Wrath on a Mean Lost Soul is also okay, but I do think overall the best setup is Low Blow, Savage Blow. For the wheel, I'm using Ascetic perk at the moment. I think it's probably the best. Spiritual Outburst in here would probably be okay as well, considering the high density, although you're doing a lot of like heavy kite in here, so maybe Outburst wouldn't be getting that many targets. Anyway, any leftover points, you put in a lesser gem, ideally for flat hit points, and the character you'll see in the video is actually level 430, so like I said, this is my lower level monk when I recorded it, but just to showcase that it's possible, but I do think it's better at level 600 plus. And for the route, let me draw it out. So you come in through here. This is pretty standard, right? This is how everybody runs here, more or less. So you run through here, taking all the monsters, kiting them, taking them, kiting them. I'll usually finish off whatever's left somewhere around here. Now I'll go through here, pull out all the monsters, kite, get to like the teleporter, finish off around here, then go through the little skull, which is a teleporter. I'll go up here, kite, usually finish things off here. Then I'll pull out a few monsters through here and I'll go into here, usually finish off the monsters here, go down, pull, kite. And here is something quite important. So if you're using energy, you can also do this room with the freakish lost souls. But if you're using earth, if so, Sanguine Claw 600 plus, make sure to avoid this this room. I don't remember the exact values, but the freakish lost souls, the hardest ones that there's like 3 of in this room, are very strong to earth, which means that it's going to be really tricky to kill them with an earth weapon. So if you're using an earth weapon, just avoid that room altogether and just keep kiting, go, and finish off everything here by the teleporter. Go back into the teleporter to go back to the right hand side of the island, if you will, and then I usually go up through here and I pull all the monsters, kill them off here. You don't actually need to do it. I think the respawn should keep up if you just go up here, like this, but I like to go up here, pull everything out. You just sort of kite, sort of finish things off around here and then kite again down south. If you really start running out of respawn, you can even go up here and pull some out. I don't find it's necessary. Respawn keeps up just fine. And yeah, that's it. That's the video. Like I say, recommended, honestly, for 600 plus. If you're really desperate, you love this respawn, something's boosted, you can come here a little bit earlier, but it's going to be hard. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll play the rest of the video now and see you next one. Bye-bye.